You've been taught your whole life to be soft, to smile, to explain, to justify, to make yourself understandable, even when no one ever tried to understand you. And yet, despite all the talking, all the openness, all the explanations, you still feel invisible, ignored, overlooked, disrespected. There is a reason for that. A reason Machiavelli understood long before the modern world existed. Power does not begin with strength. It does not begin with intelligence. It does not begin with money or status. Power begins with silence. Silence is the foundation that separates men who are noticed from men who are forgotten. Weak men talk to feel alive. Strong men talk only when their words can change something. The difference is enormous. One speaks for comfort. The other speaks for effect. Machiavelli wrote about a truth most men spend their entire lives avoiding. When you speak too much, you expose your mind. When you react too quickly, you expose your emotions. When you explain everything, you expose your strategy. And once you expose your strategy, you become predictable. Predictable men are easy to control. Silence is not just the absence of noise. Silence is a shield, a discipline, a weapon. When you say less, you give others less to use against you. When you remain calm, you deny the enemy the reactions they want. When you hold back your emotions, no one can measure your weakness. Silence forces people to fill the gaps with their imagination, and imagination is always louder, darker, and more powerful than your words. Look around you. Most men today sabotage themselves with their own mouths. They talk to impress people who don't respect them. They reveal their plans to people who secretly envy them. They confess their insecurities to people who quietly benefit from their weakness. They speak without purpose, without direction, without strategy. They speak because they fear the discomfort of silence. While strong men embrace silence because they know it shifts the balance of power. When you walk into a room and you aren't trying to be heard, something happens. People start watching you, they study you, they wonder what you think, what you feel, what you might do next. Your silence becomes gravity. It pulls attention towards you without effort. This is the paradox of power. Those who demand attention rarely receive it. Those who do not seek attention often command it. Machiavelli taught that visibility must be controlled, not constant, not desperate, controlled. Sometimes you need to speak, and when that moment comes, your words must carry weight, weight created by all the moments you chose not to speak. Scarcity creates value, and your voice is no exception. A man who talks constantly becomes background noise. A man who chooses his moments becomes unforgettable. Think about the people you respect the most. They are rarely the ones who speak endlessly. They are the ones who speak calmly, precisely, strategically. Only when necessary. They don't explain themselves to everyone. They don't react emotionally to provocation. They don't reveal their plans to casual listeners. They don't waste their energy on people who don't matter. They conserve their words the same way a warrior conserves his arrows, only for shots that matter. So let's talk about how silence increases your value. Silence creates mystery. Mystery creates interest. Interest creates influence. Influence creates power. When you stop giving people access to your thoughts, they start giving more value to your presence. When you stop revealing your emotions, people stop trying to manipulate them. When you stop explaining yourself, others begin to question their assumptions. Here is the silent rule Machiavelli lived by. Never reveal more than the situation demands. In arguments, silence removes your enemy's advantage. In conflict, silence forces others to reveal themselves first. In competition, silence hides your strategy. In relationships, silence gives your words value. In life, silence protects your mind from unnecessary damage. Most men today crave attention. Strong men crave control. And control comes from discipline, especially discipline over your tongue. The moment you stop trying to be understood by everyone, you become someone worth understanding. The moment you stop reacting to every provocation, you become someone people can't provoke. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you become someone whose presence speaks louder than his words. When you master silence, something changes inside you. Your thoughts become sharper, your emotions become steadier, your presence becomes heavier, your confidence becomes quieter, but stronger. This is the kind of man the world notices, not the loud one, not the desperate one, but the man who carries his strength without the need to display it. Machiavelli never glorified cruelty. He glorified self-control. Because the man who controls himself cannot be controlled by others. If you want to live like a strong man, start removing unnecessary words. Say less than you think, reveal less than you feel, promise less than you intend, and act with more purpose than anyone expects. Control your silence, control your presence, control your life. Subscribe for more. There is much they never wanted you to learn.